Imagine holding a book so dangerous that rulers feared it could topple their power. A book so influential, it became the first in human history to be officially banned. But what was inside its pages, and why were people forbidden to read it? This is the untold story of the world's first banned book and how it shaped the future of censorship. Throughout history, words have carried power to inspire, to unite, and sometimes to disrupt. Long before modern governments, religious and political leaders understood that controlling knowledge meant controlling people. The world's first recorded instance of banning a book takes us back to ancient Greece in 399 BCE. The target wasn't a scandalous novel or a dangerous conspiracy theory. It was the writings and teachings of one man, Socrates. Though he never wrote a book himself, his students, like Plato, recorded his philosophy. His ideas questioned authority, morality, and the gods themselves. To the leaders of Athens, this was dangerous. It challenged the very foundation of their rule. After putting Socrates on trial and sentencing him to death, the Athenians didn't stop there. They moved to suppress his words, banning his teachings, forbidding his followers from spreading them, and attempting to erase him from cultural memory. This was, in essence, the first banned book. Not a novel, but the written record of a man's philosophy. His ideas were considered too corrupting for young minds, too radical for public life. Ironically, it was this very attempt at censorship that gave the writings more weight. Instead of dying out, Plato's work survived and carried Socrates' banned words across the world. The banning of Socratic texts set a precedent. Soon after, other rulers would follow. In ancient China, Emperor Qin Shi Huang in 213 BCE famously ordered the burning of books. From philosophy to poetry, trying to erase knowledge of past dynasties and centralize power under his rule. The Roman Empire too banned certain writings, especially those criticizing the emperors or questioning the gods. Censorship became a tool of survival for the powerful. But make no mistake, the world's first banned book was not destroyed. It lived on in secret libraries, hidden scrolls, and whispered teachings. So why did leaders fear these books so much? Because books do more than entertain. They shape thought. And dangerous thoughts to rulers meant rebellion. The first banned book reminds us that censorship has never been about protecting people. It's been about protecting power. The rulers of Athens feared that if citizens embraced Socrates' philosophy, they would start questioning laws, traditions, and authority itself. In other words, banning the book wasn't about the words. It was about the revolution those words could spark. Today, we live in a world where banned books are still a reality, from George Orwell's 1984 to Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses. But the first banned book in history shows us something important. Once an idea is written down, it becomes nearly impossible to silence. Socrates may have been silenced in the courts of Athens, but his words, preserved by Plato, still inspire us more than 2,000 years later. The act of banning made his philosophy stronger, more enduring, and more influential than it ever would have been otherwise. So the next time you hear about a banned book, remember, this isn't just a modern debate. It began with the world's first forbidden text, words considered too dangerous for society to handle. And yet, here we are, still reading them. If you want to uncover more hidden stories of the world's firsts, from inventions to scandals to the strange events that changed history, make sure to subscribe to The World's First, because sometimes the very first tells us more than the last.